Hee Fa Choi.
Kung Hee Fa Choy.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year. Welcome to this week's UWILA Network, where we're going to dive right into Kung Hee Fa Choy. Now, we are actually still in the celebrations of Chinese New Year, right,
That's right.
Manaola? It's lunar.
Absolutely. The Spring
Lunar?
Festival is still happening and it's going to go all the way, I believe, the 24th or the 25th or
25th.
26th, right?
25th.
The end of the
25th.
25th, yeah, 19th Festival.
Yeah, so we have a really, really fun and exciting episode today. For those of you that don't know, everybody on here is
Yeah.
Chinese, right? You included. We have I'm a Pang, Manaola's a Lim and a Yap, and you are a
Coleman.
Coleman. So get out of here.
Shut
No,
up.
no,
You
no,
only can
no.
tell when I drink. That's why I really don't drink because I turn red really It's I come to my mom's side. My mom said she had Chinese.
We are all Chinese, and actually, a lot of
Yes,
Hawaiians
yes.
are mixed with Chinese.
Mhm.
A lot, because the Chinese were one of the first ones to
Come
migrate
here.
over to Hawaii. So we have a treat
In
for
the
you
plantation, yes.
during the plantation era. We have a treat for all of you because we did an interview with Auntie
Yes.
Nani, Uncle Edward, and Manaola because a lot of the traditions that we celebrate and the ways that we
Yes.
celebrate are passed on from them. Manaola has been doing lion dance from, I don't know when, from like young age, yeah,
Oh, in the
Baba?
stomach, yeah.
From
When I was
from a young
little.
age that was passed down from Uncle Ed. So there's so much tradition that we all share, and we celebrate that every single year at our stores, even when we have our store openings. So it's really fun, really exciting. We're really sad that we didn't get to
Yeah.
invite all of you this year to our Chinese New Year celebration at two stores.
Two
It was one
stars.
store before, but we did it at two stores, Friday and Saturday night. We had to do it private because of COVID 19, but we have some exciting
What?
video
Footage.
footage. I know, I was looking for
Just
the
for
word.
you. Just for you.
Just for you. So, shall we get started? And you know what, Bubba? The three of us are going to come into little bubbles on the screen, and we're going to give you some commentary on rewatching from this year's Chinese New Year.
Wait. Talk story,
Oh,
Baba.
wait.
Let's say hi a little bit, Mana.
Oh, yeah, Bubba, say
How,
hi. Sorry, I was
how are
stealing the
you?
show. Hi, how are you? Tell us a little bit about the
I'm
decorations that you have.
wonderful. Yes, this is our Chinese lion, our lucky red lion. And of course, in the corner, we have our money tree. Our money tree is featuring all little wishes that we have and good tidings for the new year. And each um, ball, a little red envelope we see is actually filled with a hope or a dream that we have and some money, and it's tied with a gold knot onto our money tree. And this has been a tradition of ours for our Yap family that we put up every year. Before it used to be actually a fruit tree, a tangerine tree, and now we've adapted that tradition to this gorgeous gold leaf bronze tree that is normally put up in our home every year. As well as, of course, not the cherry blossoms, but another sign of the spring festivals, and that is the beautiful peach blossoms. Of course, these are artificial because they're not in bloom right now, but in tradition, the peach blossoms are another sign of the spring festival. So, welcome everyone to our UWILA network, and we look forward to sharing with you some of the wonderful events that we've had at some of our retail stores. Kong Hee Fa Choi.
Kung Hee Fa Choi.
I love that I can clearly see all of your decorations.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm coming for my camera people right now because I am blurry. Why is that?
I know. I'm like,
It's all the red in the picture, I
I
think.
know they
All
cannot handle,
vibrant
yeah, they
red.
cannot handle. And
right.
with that, let's go to that B-roll from our Pro Ridge and our Ala Moana stores. The,
Okay.
okay, we're going to start with the interview with the family. Boom, boom.
Aloha, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our UWILA Network here live with I'm Manaola Yap, and I'm here sharing a little bit about the festivities of our most famous spring festivals. You know, it's been so much fun every year growing up as a child, celebrating Chinese New Year, the lion dance, you know, the wonderful food, the decorations, and all of those wonderful things and those childhood memories. And I thought it'd be wonderful to go ahead and share a little bit about my childhood and especially about the spring festivals with my parents. So I have here the beautiful Nandi Lynn Yap and Edward Yap, my parents, and we're going to speak a little bit about Chinese New Year.
We're back on here.
And we are back. Let's
And
get
we
us.
are back. We are purple. Yes.
And we are purple.
We are purple.
Now, you guys are getting a sneak peek at the set for when we do our Manaola Madness. And are we
Ooh.
going into our Manaola Madness right now? Are we going to switch to the next scene?
Next scene.
We're going to the next scene. You know, people are going to get some lickings after this.
I thought we break apart the different aspects of Chinese New Year and share a little bit about it. But I actually want to start with Edward. Um, you know, why don't you tell us a little bit about, you know, the origins of when we were younger and you know, Kung Fu and all of that, and how you started and pass that on to us.
Yes. Well, you know, each Chinese family, when they had come over from China, they brought with them many of their traditions. And of course, one of them is martial arts. So, Chinese martial arts, depending on what region you came from, or depending on if it was, if you came from a high class family, or a middle class family, or if you were poor, your style of martial arts have reflected that, whether your teachers or your masters had trained in a temple, or if they had been from a military school. So these different type of martial arts did come over into when the immigrants came over to work in the sugar fields, and each Chinese family, kept these traditions strong because they needed to hold on to some too. So even where I grew up in Honolulu, there was three different main schools of Chinese martial arts, and from them came the tradition of the Chinese lion dance, or samsi as we call it. And the lion itself is, to the Chinese people, is the ambassador of heaven.
Mhm.
And the wonderful thing about it is, when you hear the sound of the firecrackers, it not only chases the evil spirits away, but it also calls to Chinese heaven to look down and see the ambassador is about to bless something. Now, Manaola, for example, when he was a very young boy, we saw the lion dance being performed. And he said to me one day, he said, "Dad, I want to do that." And lucky for me, I was brought up in a home where Chinese martial arts was prevalent. And my parents had sent me to Chinatown to belong to one of the clubs there. And I learned Shaolin Temple boxing from the time I was 9 years old. So in keeping with that tradition, I've taught my children these traditions, and we've upheld them until today. The Chinese lion, again, like I said, is the ambassador of heaven. We not only bless the homes, but we bless buildings and
Weddings.
businesses. We do weddings. And for this island, on Hawaii Island, we're the only school on this island that still performs, and we've kept this tradition for over 32 years now. We've
Yep.
kept it up, and I'm so happy to say that my children are still continuing as Nani and I look forward to our golden
And
years.
that was the birth of lion dance. It was little Manaola saying, I want to do that.
I just
I
wanted
want
to
to do that.
Oh,
Well, you know, if you look at the traditions of the Chinese and the early immigrants here to the islands, in our plantation culture, you know, we have two, you know, we're very lucky to have come from two very, very cultural families, very involved families, especially in our Chinese community, and that is the Yap family, and of course the Lim family from Kohala. The Yap family is actually one of the credited people that actually helped to turn the University of Hawaii into a university.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
And
our
from
ancestor.
Honolulu College to
To
the University
University
of
of
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Look at that.
And
Education.
on our limb side, looking at Kohala, which is the northernmost point of our islands, the Lim family, we were actually one of the first to give the land in which the first tong or society house where culture is practiced actually resides. You want to tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about
And
Tongpo?
that tong is in Kohala, in a place called Halava. When you make that turn in Halava, if you look towards the mountains, it's a big, beautiful, colorful,
Very
colorful
Yes.
building. That's the tong. And we have pictures of all of our, all of my aunts and my granduncles and my grandfather and all of their children and brothers and sisters sitting on the front of that tong, clear across on large benches. And we realized that story, or we needed to have our children understand why why they were so connected to that. And so everyone knows that the Limbs was part of that tong that's the first tong in the Hawaiian Islands.
Yes. Actually, before we had immigrants, before they had actually settled in San Francisco, which is credited as one of the biggest parts of Chinese immigrations into America. But when we look at our traditions of Kohala, we actually had already been practicing culture in Hawaii before predating their arrival into California when they were there looking for gold. They were actually following the sunset because they had heard that there was gold mining happening, and that was actually in California. And they had actually just come about Hawaii on their way, trying to look for California. And instead of finding gold, they found the beautiful Hawaiian Islands. And in that, during that time, they were able to really create these social,
Yes.
establishments, which are tongs, which were actually built to practice culture.
Practice the culture, so they would
schools,
keep it.
yeah.
Keep it
Yeah.
strong, especially for the children. So it would, when they were born, they would be still taught their traditions,
yeah.
how to write, how to speak, how to do martial arts,
Cook.
the different types of foods. Yeah.
Mhm.
And one thing about the Chinese people, especially in Kohala, they knew how to. They were still being merchants.
Yes.
They would find the things that they needed or to sell to the people, and they would sell them.
They had niche markets all
Niche-
over.
yeah,
Even
like
Hawaiian
vegetables.
food. Poi, if you look at in the olden days, even in
Yeah.
the early 1900s, in Chinatown, even in San Francisco, the Chinese were even catering to Hawaiians that were in the area, making poi
Poi.
and making all those things because they knew how to adapt to their surroundings. Also, they were
Also,
They're so smart.
the merchants,
language.
in order to sell to the Hawaiian people, they learned the Hawaiian language.
Yeah.
I had ancestors that spoke fluent Hawaiian
And Chinese, yeah.
and Chinese at the same time. But that's that they adapted. They really adapted to their surroundings,
And
and
that's why it's lived on to
but food,
now,
food always was a
to
big
this
part
time.
of celebrations. And usually every year we just have a 7-course dinner. We cook. That's what we do. My father cooked. And in the kitchen was always a helper. That was me. That was my sister Charmaine. That was us. Okay? So, and it's like the Chinese movies. There's that one person that's always cleaning up after the cook. That's us. But at the same time, you learned how to cook. Because as soon as they open the cover, oh, come over here, smell this. Oh, oh, come over here, taste this.
My
And
favorite
my
part
father
of
always
Chinese
said,
New Year,
it's about
the
the taste.
food.
Make sure that it tastes good. Everything needs to taste good. So that's why
Oh, look at that.
during Chinese New Year, my
Yeah.
father taught us to make everything. From the roast pork,
Ooh.
cow yolk, duck, everything.
Fish.
Fish, we did everything. So
Breakfast.
duck nut, it's hard to do. It takes a long time. Many types of food that's our favorites take a long time. So some of those, well, we adapt to some Chinese friends of ours. But other than that, all the other foods we try to cook them, because when the kitchen is cooking, the flavors are coming out, everyone is happy, and that is why every Chinese New Year when people are eating, I said, "How is the food?" My father would do the same. Even all my aunties, "How is the food?" And it has to be good. Chinese, if it's not good, you're not gonna see them back at your restaurant. That's just how it is.
And I
And
think
then-
it's even all the flavors. I think one of the
It's
best
the
parts
flavors.
is that every dish, like with Chinese food, a lot of other cultures, when you go in, a lot of things taste a little similar. But with Chinese food, one of the beauties of Chinese food is that every dish
Yeah.
has its own flavor
Flavor.
profile. Savory,
Looks
sweet,
just like his dad.
sour. There's all these different
Yes.
tastes, and mastering those tastes are a part of being Chinese and being in the kitchen, right, Mom? And
course.
and she's always taught us, while
Of course.
she's tried her best to teach us, as much as she can when we're around in the kitchen.
Yep.
Whether we're creating the flavor with dates,
Yeah.
or kopi, which is the tangerine peels, or salted meats,
And
those kinds of
salted
things.
fish.
Salted fish.
Those little
Shrimp.
delicacies, the ham, the shrimp, where people don't cook that anymore. And before, when we used to cook ham, we would say, "Oh, what's that smell?" You don't tell them. But when you serve that fried rice and they start eating, it's like, "Wow, this is so delicious." Ham. Remember that smell? Ham. That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
Aha.
delicious. I said, yeah. Those are the different types of flavors that and once you cook it, it just enhances everything.
My
It
father too,
enhances the food.
always the ha.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna go into lion dancing. So, Manaola, your dad had shared a little bit about the blessings, and we're going to have some B-roll from our retail stores that we did at both sides. And so it's going to be really exciting to see the lion dancing virtually. I was going to say in person, but virtually seeing that. So let's move to that.
Well, do you want to? I was thinking too. Do you want to?
I know Bubble was talking. We'll come back to you, Bubba.
Always front and back. If you notice that the lion will always start from the left to the right of the door. And take the back to the front, right, take the back presence inside and you hear the practice and the confidence or the more luck it brings you.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Bubba. Let's talk about the line from the beginning when you
Oh
were.
no, I was talking about it while this thing was
And we want
happening.
to go
So
here again. We want to hear it again.
okay, so when you watch the lion dance, you'll notice what the lion does. In tradition, the lion will always go and sniff the door and check, to make sure that the opening of the door is blessed. And he'll normally read from the left to the right, because that was or I'm sorry, or the right to the left because of the way that the calligraphy was in the olden days. Um, if you'll notice, he'll wave his foot over, and what he's doing when the lion waves its foot over is it's opening. It's kind of like the eye pattern. He's opening the door, the gateway to the door, to the spiritual space of the door, and opening it into a new time and the bringing and the blessings of a new year. And when the lion swoops his foot over, that is a sign of opening. We call it opening the door. The lion will progress inwards towards the door and sniff the
Done.
the base of the door to check for any bad energy, and it'll always look back and be very aware of what is watching it, so that there can be no bad influences um, or bad energies going towards the establishment while it's being blessed. The lion will always enter the establishment with its left foot over the threshold, or it's considered bad luck. So the lion will lift its left paw over the threshold, and then enter. Um, the green that you see above the door is actually called the Choi Chang. And the Choi Chang, just like Choi Sam or Choi, all the other greens that we eat. Bok Choy, Choy means green. The Choi Chang is actually the offering to the lion for the blessing, and it's usually some kind of cabbage or lettuce because the lion is actually a vegetarian. So not a lot of people know, but the lion is actually a vegetarian. There's a legend that says that one day the lion did a bad deed and it ate a human, and the gods came down and punished the lion by chopping off its horn. So I'll show you the horn. Hold on.
Oh my God. This is why I love
Totally enlightened.
all this. The stories. So many. I'm learning so much.
Well, there's purpose in everything.
Exactly.
I'm gonna pick the line. Hold on.
Okay. Oh, you guys are getting a treat. He's bringing it down.
So if you look at the lion's horn, he actually has this red ribbon on it. And you see? So this is his red ribbon. And the legend says, so the legend says that he did a bad deed and ate a human, and the gods came down and sliced off his horn. And one of the most famous deities in Chinese culture is Kuan Yin, which I actually have Kuan Yin. Hold on. So Kuan Yin or Kun Tam. So this is Kun Tam, Kuan Yin. This is an older version of Kuan Yin. She felt really bad for the lion. And what she did is, because she's the goddess of mercy and compassion, she magically took the lion beast's horn and attached it to the lion. and put it back magically and tied it with a red ribbon. And the red ribbon symbolized that the lion from now on would only be able to do good things and that it would bless everyone and everything it touches. So when you see a lion, it always must have a uh, red ribbon on its head, an ornament, because
Hmm.
if not, that means that the lion was not blessed, which means that the lion could do other things which are not good. So,
Which
you
is
know, lions,
rascal. The lion can be a rascal if it doesn't
yeah,
have the ribbon.
yeah. So you want to make sure that your lion, and every time the lion goes to a tong or blesses a temple, normally the temple will also bless the lion as a reward with, you know, tying its red ribbon on its horn with little decorations. So as you can see,
Mm.
little decorations on his horn because this particular lion is the lion that normally dances at the tong. Each,
Oh.
each lion has, there are northern lions and there are southern lion dancing. This is a southern lion head. Northern lions are more fluffy and full of fur and reflect northern China and Mongolia. So those are the ones that are just really, really hairy and they do acrobatic tricks where they're on a ball.
And it
Kind
also
of,
has to do with their movements, right? Which Nani
yes,
shares with us. Should we
yes.
play that clip?
Yeah, let's
Let's
play
go to
that.
that. Let's go to where Nani talks about the movements of Kung Fu with the lion because it's very similar to hula.
Hula.
You
Yeah.
can see where the lineage comes from the movements in hula. The lion dance is the same thing. It's about the Kung Fu movements. So a lot of people don't know that the way that the lion moves is actually, yeah.
Yes, and you know, I think even my favorite part, especially with me in Asia, is the Chinese lion dance. It's always been an integral role, even in our Lim family. All of the Lim kids, most of them pretty much have all at least touched the lion or the gongs or the cymbals or the instruments at least once, I'm sure, in their lifetime. You know, my cousin Tahi and Anuhea, they also did lion dance with us when we were younger, and you know, it's been one of those traditions to really be proud of as far as you know, our Chinese heritage. You know, when we would have our in Kohala, we'd have our cultural day, and it was so funny because we would be dancing hula and doing kahiko and all of that stuff, and then we'd have to run and change and then do the lion for the Chinese booth, and having that experience to really look at culture from different perspectives is very valuable for us, just as people, you know. But yes, Chinese New Year is a very very exciting um, part of our year.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's pretty much the lion. I mean, there's a lot of neat parts of the Chinese lion dance, even doing um, doing the acrobatic parts with
Mhm.
mounting and stacking and all those kind of cool things.
So let's go to the clips at our store of the lion going through our store and blessing specific places because I got the whole rundown when I had my first Chinese New Year blessing. It was all about having the lion come to the right place at the right time with the right leasee, and it had to be so because the lion cannot turn around. If the lion turns around, the luck goes with him. So the lion has to back out So that's how you
Yeah.
know if you have a real lion dance and a real lion blessing. You got to remember that one. Those of you that are on right now, not a lot of people know that. So let's go to the clips where we have the registers, the garment racks. The registers and the garment racks are so important. We want the lion to do the blessing on the POS stations because that is the representation of the money. The store leaders are the ones that take the lion around the store. The store manager or the store leader desk is important. The inventory rooms. So we have a couple of clips for you guys from this past year. Let's show those. This is our beautiful Ala Moana store. And those are so much fun. You know, oh, go ahead. And it's also for us, we have every single one of our team members feed the line. It's important. You don't want to have anybody go past the line without feeding the line. Again, we wish everybody was there. We missed you this year.
So tell us a little bit about this school. Is this your
Well,
school? When
yes.
is this
Well,
school?
I had trained in downtown Chinatown up until I was 17 years old. So from the time I was 9 years old, and then I left and I went to college in Oregon. And when I came back, I had moved up here to Kamuela, and that's when I met Nani. And as we started our family, I kind of longed, to make that connection again. But good. It was wonderful that they had another school here for a little while in Kona, and it was like a mishmash of different people like myself who came from other clubs in Honolulu and was trying to upkeep the tradition. And that's when Manola asked me. He said, "Daddy, I wanna do that. I wanna learn to do that." So I said, "Oh, okay." And from that, I then opened the school here, and we kept it all the way up until 9/11 happened, and then we kind of just kept it within the family after that because a lot of things closed down, just like how we're experiencing now with COVID. But we still keep the tradition, and every year when it comes to Chinese New Year, when people are ringing the phone off the hook and asking us, we always share our traditions a lot with our good friends, the Zanes over in Hilo. They look forward to it, and a lot of some of the downtown merchants in Hilo, and
And all Chinese families.
all Chinese, and of course
families,
Kohala,
And you guys travel all across the island.
all
Yes,
around the
all over.
island, all around the
Where are some
island.
of the places?
Hilo,
Hilo,
Kona,
Kohala,
Kohala,
Waimea.
Kia'ao too. They still
and
go to
Kia'ao, we
Kia'ao.
go to Kia'ao to the shopping center as
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And then of course we do a lot of private events, functions, weddings, birthdays.
When I look at Chinese line dance, it has the same kind of traditions as
Mhm.
Hawaiian hula because they have roots. We have
Yeah, next
roots.
time we're gonna have cocktails.
And it's understanding what those roots are and how they have grown, and that's what we're trying to move to our children. It's the same thing, and I think when it does come to over the years when we're looking for lion dancers, we didn't look for lion dancers at first. We were looking for students to learn kung fu because those movements actually for the lion actually come from kung fu. kung fu, those stances, the low stances. And so, but we found that traditions along the way, for martial arts, they weren't going out every night and giving somebody a licking down the street, like the gangs did in Chinatown just to prove that they could. But so that I saw was being lost. So, but they all wanted, as soon as they see the line, can we
You
do
see
the
those
line dance?
movements?
Can we learn the line dance? We want to learn the line dance. We have to learn. So now I think we have taken the thinking of how we share, how Ed shares shares line dancing and the martial arts into sharing it from the line dance point of view, and then coming back and learning all the traditional, because that is the excitement of it. Yeah, but still we need to keep the traditions of it. So
You see, I love Nani because there's always a lesson,
It is all the time. That's how
and it's always tying back to the tradition of it all, the education of it all,
the foundation.
the foundation. Yes, the
Everything. If you
foundation.
don't have that, nothing.
Okay, we're gonna go to my favorite part. Well, actually, you know what? I love all of it. I love the boom, boom, boom. I love the loud. I love the movements. I actually used to watch the lion competitions when they would like jump on the pegs, when they used to dance, do the lion dance on the pegs and everything. But now we're gonna go to the drinking. That is my favorite part. But Manaola, you need to share with us the relevance of why you drink gin with the lion.
Yes, please. Let us know.
So the whole idea with the drinking and offering of alcohol to the lion is because you want the more you can get the lion to stay in your establishment, the more luck you acquire. And when you drink, it disorients the lion and it makes it drunk. So that's kind of why we have like different acts and different puzzles that we do, like feeding of the orange, or we drink and we do drunken lion where the lion becomes drunk. And in that moment, especially with the store owners or the establishment owners or people of high profile, do this and the ceremony includes, um, you pretty much are taking shots, rice wine or gin or those kinds of things with the lion. And in return, the lion also receives, the money, and the person serving the drink receives the benefit of the luck and the time well spent with the lion. And that's a tradition that we've had for a long time. It is actually a tradition that is done in the temple as well in Kohala.
Hmm.
We've done it for years. Odd numbers are not good. Odd numbers, even numbers are not good. Odd numbers are auspicious to Chinese. So normally, if you take a shot with the lion, it's usually three. It's one, three, five, or if you have more, eight is lucky. Eight is the only
Eight.
lucky.
Oh, eight.
Yeah,
That was nine. Eight.
yeah, eight is the
Eight is
auspicious.
the only one that you can do that's even.
Yeah.
But that's what I love about it. It's about the lion having fun and enjoying time. It's about the owners having fun and enjoying time and spreading the luck with each other. Let's cut to those clips from the lion drinking at our retail stores. Manaola's tired. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was our Ala Moana store. It was so much fun.
Yes, it was.
And again, private, closed to the public. It was just us, social distance, which really, I just shared with Carissa so much. I have so much fun inviting everybody to come
Yes.
through, enjoying the lion dance and sharing in the food together. But this year we had to, take the extra precautions. So it was just, it was just us. Still a great, great blessing and a great celebration. Do we have clips from our Pro Ridge store too? Okay, so we have our Pro Ridge store coming up. And both stores was done by the same club. And this is the club that we have been using forever because this is the club to do it with. And that's Ian. And
He
he's
used to
going to
dance.
kill me. Oh, go ahead, Manola.
He used to dance with me before.
Yes,
He's my cool brother. My
Kung
line
Fu
brother.
brother. So we're keeping it in the Kung Fu family.
Yes.
Do you know the name of his lion dance club? I should have it come up on the screen.
Warning. And I think it's WAH. Wa NGA.
One. I
I didn't give it to the tech people, so it's not going to come up on that beautiful banner that you have over there.
You know,
But we will get that for you.
we were just fortunate, and that's why we're here this evening to really just share some of the blessings, and just share with you folks with how important it is, um, for our family, for tradition, and for our company as well. That it's a big celebration, and we
Hmm.
take it, we make it into a big event, and
It's important to
it's
us.
very important. And actually,
It's important to celebrate
it's
that.
actually kind of exciting. It's like a whole holiday that I feel like it's a big deal. It's a big preparation. So even down to the food and making sure everything is correct, and we
Hmm.
cleaned everything up, make sure nothing's broken in your house,
Hmm.
everything's repaired, so that the new year comes, it's you know to grow and be prosper.
Right.
And even for myself, like I learned so much just being here. And I'm all about these traditions because it's just makes it more important and have more purpose, more intention. And so we're so fortunate and we're so excited to share all of this with you. And I know hang in there because we are here. We're going to be showing more clips. I think we're just getting that prepared for you folks. We're going to go to the next segment after the sharing of liquor drinking. So hang
So
in
this
there.
is the closing. This is the closing of the lion blessing. And
Is that
Manola,
Choi?
you can share a little bit more about this, but it's the sharing of the orange and the final blessing of the cabbage lettuce.
So the orange is usually always been a symbol of good luck and good fortune. And what happens is the lion, you actually usually have three oranges. It just depends on what on the decision that they make when they when you're presenting it. Did we do three?
Three.
Three, we did three. So
One for the
usually
gods.
one is for the gods. The first one is for the gods. The second one is for who, Zachary?
The second one is for the owners to share with the family.
And the
And the
third
third is for the lion.
for the lion. That's correct. Okay, and so on the end you'll see the Choi Chang, which is the hanging of the greens. Like I said, the lion. I told you the story about the lion being vegetarian. He eats the greens. Inside of that envelope is normally money, of course. It's always money, but it's always in the number of 8888. 8888 or fat is infinity. So
Mhm.
it means infinite wealth, health, and prosperity. And that's, given to the lion and usually given to the school, the lion dance school, um, as a blessing. And the lion will regurgitate the lettuce or the cabbage, depending on what kind of greens they use. And that lettuce represents the showering of luck and good fortune. So that's one of everyone's favorite part of the lion dance. When they see all this lettuce coming flying out of the mouth of the lion. So let's take a look at that clip.
And it's also important that the lettuce hits the owners for the blessing.
And whoever it touches is lucky.
Yeah, wherever it touches is lucky.
Can you go
So
back
I'm in
there?
there. I'm like,
Can you
give
get
me the
there?
lettuce,
I
cabbage.
should have gone there first.
Give it, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me.
Never mind enough about us. Hey, dude, are you ready?
Boom. So we're a little bit feeling good by now. So I was rolling that orange everywhere. Someone got a surprise. They didn't know that they were going to be taking the 3 shots with me. And we're done with them. I'm going to go into. Woo! Oh, it's so fun. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. So, oh yeah, we have bubbles everywhere. So now we're going to be moving into your favorite part and Manaola's favorite part, and of course my favorite part,
It's
Manaola
Manaola.
madness.
Mana Ola
It's the
Madness.
madness giveaways.
Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah, what are we giving away today? Drunken
What
Vegas.
are we giving?
Okay, whoa, oh, oh.
Oh, there we go. More light.
It is more light. You can see.
Is it the dress you're wearing? It's stunning.
That dress is amazing. This is the Kikepa dress.
Yes, the Ahuki Kappa dress.
Ahu Kikepa.
Where's the camera?
for the
Is it
goddesses.
here?
For the gods.
Over here. Yes. Actually, it's quite comfortable. I changed it just before I came on the show because I figured I wanted to wear this instead.
That's stunning.
It's stunning. It's my little.
She was covering me with her dress.
Oh yeah. Right.
And Zachary, what do you have on?
Zachary, your turn.
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
I'm so kind. Uh huh. I like your bottom.
You look like a you look like a kind of Mahu version of Professor Snape.
Oh, he's doing the Manu action, yeah.
The Manu.
Oh, you're looking stunning right now, actually.
Ah,
Too much. Okay, back to the Manu.
back to the
Can
madness.
we get Manu halfway on this too?
Where
There.
is he?
Yeah, there he is.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hoi.
Yeah, Manu. Look, we're gonna give
Oh,
this to you
nice.
tonight. Is this okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's a beautiful.
Oh, Linda Sabato's
Oh yeah.
ready.
You see, Linda is
You
ready.
see,
Hi, Linda.
Linda.
Ready.
Okay, so what question do we want to ask? Go ahead, Manaola.
Is the
Oh,
name
oh, hi,
of the green
Jerica.
is the name
Oh, I
of
think that's my classmate.
that hung in the doorway for Chinese New Year for the lion.
Okay, Hanaho.
Yeah, sorry, Hanaho.
The name of the greens that are hung in the doorway for the lion during Chinese New Year. What is the name of that?
Aloha, Juliana. Okay, for those of you that did not hear, oh, yes, I love you, Jerica. Okay, going back to the question, Manaola asked, what is the name of, oh, it's okay. You could have just had my voice.
That's okay. It's more fun.
What is the name of the greens that are hung in the doorway
The
for the lion?
greens that are hung in the doorway for the lion blessing. Cabbage. Sorry, that is not
His name.
correct. What is
Okay,
the
what is
name? Not
Chinese?
what is it? What is the name?
The
Not
Chinese.
lettuce. Linda Sabato, strikeout. I can tell you wasn't on Choi
Oh, right there.
Chang. Woo! Kamile Patterson. You
Oh
know,
my God.
Linda, you got to watch out because Kamile Patterson is coming for your winning streak.
It's nice to be next to your closet soon,
You're
I
correct.
know.
Wow, paying attention.
Congratulations, Kamile Patterson. And thank you to everybody who joined and shared in this year's Chinese New Year celebration.
yeah. Okay. Yes, and Kamaile, don't forget, send your information to our info at Manoola, giving our little gift for our Manoola Madness, but also for Chinese New Year Kung Hee Fat Choi. So mahalo nui for participating.
Yes,
Yes.
amazing.
Kung Hee Fa Choi, and please continue to enjoy the festivals because it does not end until February 25th. And stay tuned because we are going to go live on our social media for the lunar celebration at the end. of the Spring Festival in Waikoloa at Auntie Nani's Hale.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they're gonna do the whole
It's the
Lantern
Lantern
Festival. Yes. So not on our UWILA network. It's gonna be on our Instagram story. So stay tuned. Exciting
That's so
things coming
exciting.
through.
It's so exciting. Are we done?
And that's a wrap. Thank you
And
so
that's a
much for joining us on this week's UWILA network, where we enlighten, elevate, and expand. Kung Hee Fa Choi.
Choy, everyone.
What?
Behind the scenes. Oh yeah.
Just upgrading. Oh yeah.
Your next Zach, your catalog.
Oh, tonight she's killing the choreo. Last night she was all like. Oh yeah, okay. I'm going in the middle. I'm in the middle.
And maybe it's that one. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
That's your actress. How'd you get that?
Oh, you're just there.
Okay, that's what you said.
Okay.
So, yes, ma'am.
I'm good. How are